Hey, you guys. Welcome to Real Talk Houston, and I am Carlotta B. Today we have a very special episode. We're at season 4. We're at episode number 7, and we have a very special guest, well, 2 special guests in the house tonight. We have an exclusive interview, and this is our Valentine's Day heart-to-heart segment with the Dennisons. We have Josh and Brandi here, so we're going to definitely chop it up with them tonight.
Yeah.
So welcome you guys, Josh, Brandi, the Dennisons now, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so happy for you guys
That's
again.
right.
Congrats, and double congrats.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Sure. Won't he do it?
Won't he do it, girl?
Yes.
Whole
He
testimony.
did it.
Yes, I
I
know, right? So let me tell you guys about Brandi and Josh real quick. So Brandi is now a wife. She's a makeup artist, skincare expert, travel agent, singer, owner of Simply Black Boutique, Simply Flawless Cosmetics. So she got you guys covered from head to toe, from the makeup down to the toes, okay? Full whammy over here, everything. Josh is a hubby now, certified personal trainer. He's a musician. He's an IFBB Pro, International Federation of Bodybuilding. So you do pro competitions, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been doing that?
I've actually been doing it for probably about 2 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And you've had your boutique and your cosmetic line for about how long?
I've been
Quite a
in
while.
cosmetics now for 23 years, but boutique now for 2 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, you have some really nice pieces too.
Ah, thank you.
I love black. Black is my
Yes,
favorite color.
it's my
So
go-to.
you can't go wrong with black.
Right.
So I want to start out also, speaking of why we're here, it is Valentine's Day. It's love is in the air, so it's a season of love. I want to quickly get nostalgic just a bit, real quick though. So our season 1 interview, Brandi came from our season 1 interview, Boss Fam, and that was the day. Do you remember the significance of that day? The George Floyd verdict came down.
Sure did.
That same day.
Yep.
So when we first, started the interview, we were all emotional because of the verdict,
Right.
The George Floyd verdict. But even beyond that, did you think from that first season that we would be sitting here today talking about love and marriage?
Girl, no.
I know, right?
I didn't give up on love.
Right.
But I just wouldn't expect that. That was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I wouldn't expect that it would come,
Yeah, because we had some bitter feelings back then. We were not even thinking about falling in love and getting married again.
Right.
So let's talk about this. How did your past experiences shape your perspective, or I know it had something to do with your perspective on love, trust, and relationships?
Well, for me, my past experience really taught me, one, that I needed to develop self-love better because I was attracting everything I didn't want.
Okay.
And so I had to learn that there was something that I was giving off that wasn't correct because I'm attracting everything I don't want. So moving forward, I was able to really focus on, what is it that you really want in a person? And it went so far beyond the superficial because a lot of my list was like, entrepreneur, no kids, well-established, financial freedom, It wasn't anything to do with the heart. And the character of the person.
Okay.
So I had to really reprogram my thinking.
Yeah, and as far as what you were looking for.
Right.
Wow. What about you? I mean, did you have any situations in your past that made you feel like I'm never getting married again, I'm done, I want to love, but forget it?
Yes, my past relationship has it took me out of
tainted
it.
You as
tainted
well.
Me, the toxicity and it's just mentally, spiritually, that was the biggest thing spiritually.
Yeah.
And it was just so hard to actually get back.
Right.
And, so I thank God for the going through it, but it's like it was a whole lot.
Yeah.
Going through that. So
I think we've all had painful relationships, and I think the important thing to learn is learn something. You have to learn something. Do not repeat the same steps again if possible.
Absolutely.
And I think it's
Absolutely.
more pruning.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So
that is
it's
so
a short
true.
season.
Yeah, right. How did Josh propose? If you don't mind sharing
Share
with
Go
Boss
ahead and
Fam.
share
How did he propose, girl?
Share it.
So we were in New Orleans, which is where he is from.
That's his hometown. Okay.
And we were at his sister's house. So I decorated, designed, or whatever his sister's home. So she was having for the first time a Christmas party, and it was all the family, the friends, everything. So it wasn't nothing out of the norm. This is what they normally do.
You do interior design too?
Yes, but I don't advertise that side.
Okay, y'all
really good.
You guys heard that?
Look, she did the whole wedding.
Girl. I need you. Yeah. Okay, back to the story.
So we were there, and then all of a sudden his sister gets up and she says, you know, I want to call my brother up. You know, he helped me put this on, and we just, you know, want to thank everybody. So in my head, I'm thinking, he didn't help put on nothing. Like, what do you mean? But I just was rolling with the flow.
Right.
And I saw that she had a phone in her hand, and I was trying to grab it because I thought she was trying to record, not knowing one of my really good friends was on FaceTime because they all knew this was about to happen. So she was holding the phone close. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll start recording.
Right.
So I'm recording on my phone the whole nine, and then he gets up and then he starts crying.
Oh.
And I'm just like, what? And then I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Hold up. Then I'm tripping out. And then he gets down on one knee in front of all family and friends. And it was just so personal and perfect. Wow. You know,
I didn't know I was going to cry.
And intimate.
Right.
So you were crying before you even
popped
the question.
I had this whole thing, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do this thing.
Right. Had a whole speech plan that didn't even come out.
It didn't happen. It did not happen. I couldn't get it out. I'm like, you know, but finish your story.
Yeah, and I mean, and what's crazy, you know how you see on Instagram these really big proposals where it's all these flowers and these candles and all that? I used to desire all that. Again, I was more caught up in the look of stuff.
Exactly.
And this was just such an emotional moment. It was just so authentic and genuine. Yeah. And there was not the big ta-da, but it was just lived so big in my heart. Yeah. It was perfect. It was perfect.
That's wonderful. Way to go. Way to go, Josh. You did that. That's what I'm talking about. That's perfect.
Yes,
How did you feel when you saw her coming down the aisle?
Oh, man.
He was crying then too.
I was floored. I walked in there and, you know, I saw all the people, you know, just the support. It just felt like the Holy Spirit was in there, you know, before I even actually, you know, kind of walked in. I'm like, Lord, the music was playing. I'm like, look, he's like, it's time for you to come out. I'm like, nah, I'm not ready yet. But, you know, so he finally got in there and got on stage, bust out crying. My uncle was like, I will give you $1,000 if you don't cry. So I didn't pass that. that didn't happen.
Keep that.
But right. That didn't happen. But she came down, and I just, you know, was like, wow.
Melting inside, I'm sure.
Yeah, just melting inside. She was so beautiful.
Yes.
You know,
she's beautiful inside
and
out.
out. And all of that just came up on me, rested upon my heart, my mind, and it was just so overwhelming to me, you know, just to have all of that at once.
Exactly.
You know, and walking straight to me and smiling and crying and all of that good stuff. So
what a blessing.
It was amazing. It was an amazing feeling. Oh my gosh, I can talk all day about it.
I know. I already know. Good. That's why I said I know we can be here all night long just talking about the beauty of everything from beginning to end. Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah.
What?
First and last wedding.
You heard that.
First and last.
Yes,
that's right.
I love it. And that with prayer and endurance and resilience and communication, all of that is possible.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Speaking of those things, what qualities and strengths do you find in Josh most attractive? And I'll ask you the same thing about Brandi. What qualities and strengths?
First thing, Josh is just with being a bodybuilder, he's very disciplined.
Okay, great.
And, which I love because men have to be disciplined. They
Exactly.
have to have a level of discipline.
Yes, ma'am.
He holds himself accountable when and if he makes a mistake. He's great with saying, I'm sorry. He doesn't raise his voice, which is great. He's a good communicator. We're able to sit and talk. But one of the big things is he allows me to be me completely and fully. There's no, you're doing too much. You need to tone, because I've heard that a lot. You're doing too much. You need to tone it down, or you know, don't cut your hair. I want your hair long, or why are you wearing sequins? We're going here. Like, however I show up, when I show up, whatever, he is like, yes, like he, you know, embraces all of me, which is needed. I need that.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Yep. And for you,
for me, Brandi has a huge heart. It's overwhelming. She's beautiful. You know, she's God-fearing, love the Lord.
Yes.
Love family. Of course, she's, you know, consistent, dedicated, motivated. Can
Keep it coming.
Don't stop.
She's just amazing. She's just an amazing woman to me. And I thank God for her.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Wow, that's wonderful. What do you believe are the key ingredients to finding lasting love? Because a lot of people get married and they don't last a year. So by the end of that 12-month period, done.
I would say, seeking God first.
Having that spiritual foundation. Critically important.
The foundation is number one, especially for a man, being in leadership position.
Right.
And I always say that's some huge shoes to fill. Even now, I'm like, this is some, huge shoes to fill. But, from, what I've come up from and saw my parents, 46 years, that it is possible, to, be that.
Right. Yeah.
For me, and it starts back for me with self-love. Like that is the core. And so when I was thinking of self-love, I was thinking, I get my hair done, I get my nails done, I'll get a massage, I'll take myself to eat. I never once again focused on the heart and what it is that I need. And it's like, I'm not going to cheat on me. I'm not going to cuss me out. I'm not going to beat myself. So why would I take it from somebody else? Like I just had to really start aligning up what self-love truly is, how I talk to myself, what I say to myself. Am I uplifting? Am I inspiring myself? And I think when you start there, you're going to start attracting the same type of character that's like that.
Yeah.
So they're going to come to you. They're not going to want to cheat. They're not going to want to beat. They want to be honest and faithful and committed and the whole nine. Of course, God, we know as Christians, Black people, period. It is the core, the beginning, the end of everything. So you have to have that. And I have learned that an example matters. And I used to want to, be like, well, you can be the change you want to see. Maybe they didn't grow up with two parents in the household. And some people are. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people go out and they're the change they want to see. But when you have the example, which he's had, like he said, his parents 46 years, his grandmother over 60 years, his uncle now over 40 years, you got to see it because you got to know that it's possible.
Right.
And in our world today with social media and society, we're seeing couples break up over the smallest thing. It's like divorce is the new I'm done. Nobody's fighting to make anything
it's the first argument. Some people have an argument and they're like, I'm done.
Right. Yeah. Because it just seems so easy now. And it's who's around you, what you're watching on TV. I used to be someone who loved reality shows. And reality shows aren't the best thing to watch when you want successful relationships.
Especially when they're full of negativity and fighting and cursing and
Right. So you gotta protect your eye gate and your ear gate.
Correct. Totally agree.
Yep.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Totally what I said, what you said about being spiritually grounded, I think is so important. And what you said about having seen that before, knowing what it looks like. If you grew up and you know nothing about a mom and a dad in the same home, a husband and a wife, and growing up in stability, it's foreign.
Right.
Yes.
So you struggle with it. And there are cases where, like you said, some people can rise above it and do it, but that percentage is very small.
Very small.
It's very small.
Yeah.
So, so funny story, Boss Fam, very funny story. And I don't know if you remember, and I don't know if you remember, but Brandi and I were, where were we? Rhythm R. We were at the RR.
Rhythm Room. Yes.
And the first time I saw Josh and Brandi there together, I texted Josh and I said, if he hurt you, he's going to have to deal with me.
Yes.
That was the funniest thing. And I think he turned around and was like, had I known you were with the IFBB, and you were sitting at the time, so I really couldn't, I wouldn't have said nothing. I did. I'm like, if you hurt her, tell him if he hurt you, he got to deal with me.
Wow.
Yeah, that was funny.
Wow.
I did that. Yeah. I still mean it though. I can take you.
You ready? You ready? You stay ready.
I was an athlete back in the day. I can take you.
Okay,
I can hit you
it's
and
not
then sprint off. I can hit you and sprint off. How do you guys maintain open communication and understanding while juggling the busy lives though?
Well, you know what's great? We love to do stuff together. So we have a band together. We started our own band, the Soul Sound Band, that we run and operate together. He's a personal trainer, so he trains me. But I mean, I was telling someone, like, we are each other's helpmeet. So when it comes down to like washing dishes or washing clothes or folding, we're there together doing it. It's not like I have this role or I'm gathering up all the trash and he's walking it out. Like, so in everything that we do, we try to, you know, do it together, which allows us to communicate. We enjoy each other's company.
Right.
He's a jokester, I'm a joker. We just have fun. So our lives are busy, but we're keeping it in together. We're busy together. So
that's important too. Having the humor.
Yeah.
Who's the funniest?
Me.
Josh or you?
Me.
You keep him laughing the most. You have the jokes more so than
She
Josh.
can have it. She can have it.
Oh, you know I got it. What you mean?
You're gonna let her have that one, right?
I got it.
How sweet. Have you guys established any rituals or practices together that reinforce your bond? I know you guys share music together.
Yes. Really, music and fitness. Like those two things, you know, keep us connected. Like I said, we work out together. He trains and the music. Yep.
That's perfect.
Definitely.
And you're a musician, and do you have vocals as well, or you're mainly musician?
He has a little vocal. He does. He be trying to hide.
I keep it, you know.
He plays the keyboard
Just the keyboard.
and drums.
You know, I do what I need to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
but
you let her wear silky, sultry vocal sounds out front, right? While you playing the tunes, keeping it musically
I have a good
inclined in the
ear,
back.
so I'm able to, you know, do vocals.
He
and
can
stuff
sing a
like
note
that.
to keep us on key. Like he like that key ain't right, and then he'll give us the key.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
How perfect is that?
He got it.
Oh God, do
Won't he
it.
do
I have
it?
to say it again.
I mean,
Jesus
for
took
real.
the wheel.
He took
And
the
this is
wheel.
what's crazy. Josh is younger than me, so I'm older. We have a 9-year difference in between us.
Okay.
And that was like taboo. I was like, I'm not dating a younger man. Are you kidding me? I always needed an older man. And every older man I dated acted like a child.
Oh, wow.
So
How ironic
when
is
this
that?
came along, I was just like, hey, I might as well try. Like, you know what I'm saying? And my dad was like, age is nothing but a number. Like, you need to get over that.
And I wanted to get cougarized, so.
Ooh, well, consider yourself cougarized.
I was ready for it.
He actually said that in the vows. I'm looking at him like, really?
Oh my gosh.
Called me a cougar.
Jokes. He got some jokes. I see that now. He got the jokes. And then maturity is in the mind anyway.
Absolutely.
So I agree with your dad. Age is nothing but a number.
Yep.
So as long as you have that mature mind to go along with the proper spiritual thoughts, and you have good intentions and you're genuine,
you got a grown man.
That's right. Because you don't want to be raising a child. You don't want to raise a man.
Right.
Who said it? K. Michelle.
K. Michelle.
You do not want to raise a man. Somebody's already a man and you're still trying to raise them.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
What advice would you give to someone who feels discouraged or jaded? And I know you guys can relate to that after several unsuccessful relationships.
Yeah, check yourself. After several, and several is the key word, unsuccessful relationships. It's not everybody else, it's you. And a lot of people don't want to hear it.
And that
was me. I didn't want to hear it. I was like, but they're the one that cheated, and they're the one that did this, and they're the one that, and I kept pointing, thinking because I didn't cheat or I didn't lie or that I was okay. But it's like, no, you're accepting it. You attracted it. You allowed it because I didn't want to be by myself. I would just rather have a piece of something than have nothing at all. And that's because there was no self-love. But before he came along, I was okay by myself, enjoying my solo time. He actually came in still a little, you know, timid and hurt from his past relationship. So I went in saying, you know what, this time I'm just giving him a love. I'm not even seeking to receive it. I'm just going to pass it out. And because men need to be healed too. You know, I think a lot of the times there's so many platforms like this where it's a woman laying out her hurt or her pain, and we don't hear a lot from men. But men have just the amount of pain that we have. You know, they're just as discouraged. They're timid to walk up to somebody because they have the fear of rejection. So, but we just don't hear a lot from them.
That's
so I knew he was a little, you know, scared about it. So I was just like, I'm not seeking for you to give me anything. I'm just going to give you love and then allow God to transform and heal.
Just led by example, showing love, and not just mandatorily expecting.
Like,
okay,
what you
now
gonna
you
do for
love
me?
me back.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. How did you feel about that? Did you know at the time that she was just sowing into the relationship by showing you all that love? Are you just thinking, oh, she's so sweet? Did you?
I mean, I just knew that it was
when
her.
did it click? This girl is amazing.
It clicked in 2017. You know, after I knew what I that she was a wife. I knew that she was a wife when I first. I didn't know that.
Okay.
But at the time, of course, You know, I wasn't ready.
Right.
And then years down the line, you know, we had to go through bump our heads, both bump our heads, and then I, you know, like, hey, this is it.
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything.
Anyway,
so important.
Timing is everything. So that's good that everything came full circle.
It
full
did.
circle.
And you guys wound up together.
And I said, whatever God has designed, what's meant to be, it is meant to be. Because had we gotten together officially in 2017, we would have messed it up. You know, I know I wasn't in the space of self love that I am now, and he was much younger at that time, so he probably was trying to figure out, you know, what the streets got to offer, and then that would have made me you know, I went off and got married, and then he went off and got in a relationship, but I ended up divorced, and then he came back around like, yo, I'm ready now. I was like, okay, great. Because there was never because I don't typically go back. Like once the whatever situation that's happened, whether it's cheating or whatever the case may be, it's a wrap. I'm done.
Exactly.
What I appreciated about Josh, he was always honest, even in that time. He said he didn't want a relationship. I was like, oh, but you gonna want me. So challenge accepted. You know, it was never any question as to where he stood. So I knew when he came back saying he was ready, that's what he was.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just in awe of you guys. I could talk to you guys all night, but I'm trying to stay streamlined and keep it on task here. What are some common misconceptions that people have about finding love and how they can overcome what they're thinking? Because a lot of people, you kind of touched on it before. I'm just looking for somebody. Anybody. He's single or she's single. She might not be the best, you know, but I'll take a piece of a person right now. Do you know how many people out there are thinking that? They're just complacent with just finding another body to be in their space and not looking at the bigger picture.
Right.
So,
well, and I think
a lot of misconceptions.
Once again, social media is messing up people. You know what I'm saying? Because we're seeing these relationships that look great. You know, you're unboxing your Chanel purse, and you know, you got a red bow on a car pulling up, and so now we have these wants that we got to find the man that's going to provide these things. You know, I want the bags, and I want the vacations, and I want
the whole list.
And we don't know what she may have to be going through to get the bag. She may not be going through nothing. It may be great, or she may have to, you know, sacrifice and go through something to get the things. So once you get out of basically idolizing, you know, relationship goals was something that was really trending, that hashtag. And I used to be one of them people where I wanted to be the relationship goal person. I'm like, no, I don't. The only relationship goal we should have is with the Lord and Savior. That's the goal. We want that to be the best it can
First
be.
And foremost.
And if that is the goal
Kingdom
individually, if his relationship is to have the best relationship with God, my relationship is to have the best relationship with God, when he joins those two people together, then nothing will put it under. So I think if we get out of, or if society gets out of, and people looking for love get out of going in wanting it to be all the bells and whistles and all of the relationship goal idea, and go in and look at the heart. What is the purpose of these two hearts mending and coming together? What are we going to? Right, because we always go into situations and think that this is for us. This ain't for us. Our marriage is not for us. It's for everybody else. It's for us to be the example of God's love, because that's what he created marriage for, and his purpose, and for us to continue to push the purpose of God, not the purpose of what he's gifting me or I'm gifting him or what we're doing. That purpose is, that's dead. It is to push the healing of brokenness, that you can be healed. It's to push knowing God. It's to push that love is possible. I don't care how many kids you have or how many harbor relationships you've been through.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Bless you.
Thank you.
God has the one that's supposed to be for you out here now, being patient and seeking him. Then that's the key. To be patient, because we want to just run into stuff. I've been there.
I don't have the patience.
Oh my God, I'm 36.
The microwave.
Yeah, the microwave.
Right.
But if you can, and if you don't have patience, that means you don't have faith. Because to have faith, you gotta have patience.
You must have.
So the two work hand in hand.
Yes, and that's what's happening out there a lot. People are just, they don't, and it all goes back to a lot of them are not spiritually grounded. So they don't know that they need to be patient. They do not know that they need to pray for what they want and be specific in what you're praying for.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because if you pray for a man with a car and that's all you pray. God, just send me a man with a car.
Right.
He might just send you just a man with a car. Could be the worst person in the world, but you want a man in a car.
Right.
But we have to be intentional and detailed and specific in our prayers.
And that was my thing, praying, for, now my wife,
yes.
For that,
yes.
Lord, send me a wife.
Yes, exactly. Well, Brandi talked about what women might be looking for in a man, just to, for the tangible things. What and the flip side to that is a lot of men, and we're talking about social media, they're online and they're only looking for women with,
small waist, big booty,
all of that extra stuff,
right?
That they, most of them pay $20,000 for, and they don't want just a regular woman who's naturally beautiful.
Right.
So the flip side to that is the same thing. A lot of men are looking for the perfect woman, and the perfect woman doesn't exist either. Neither does the perfect man. So same thing applies to men, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What are some practical steps or strategies that people can take to increase their chances of finding a fulfilling relationship? And we already said self-love, praying about it. But a lot of people are in situations where, and some things are out of their control. They may have a lot of baggage, or they may be bipolar, or they may have an anger problem. They may have a drug problem. A lot of people are saying it's still someone else. It's not me. It's someone else. So what, in those situations, how can people be more, I guess, open to what's really happening with them?
I would think therapy, finding, of course, praying to God to help you find a good therapist.
Yeah. Yep. That's.
I just kind of think also at some point you're going to get so tired. Like, how you say they hit rock bottom.
Yes.
If you're not, just say you're not spiritual, because we're spiritual, so we're able to really tune in with the Holy Spirit, and He's able to basically address us soon as we have any kind of doubt or worry, or we need to go to therapy. But some people aren't. They may not know God, may haven't experienced God. So they're just going to keep bumping their head over and over and over and over and over. And then it's going to come to a point to where you're at your bottom. You're at rock bottom. And really that's when God will meet you. And a lot of people don't understand that feeling you're having when, I know for me, I felt like my divorce was rock bottom, and I laid out, I never forget, in my makeup room on the carpet, and I was just crying out. I was just flat out. And I was like, I'm at my bottom, but I'm just humbling myself unto you because I need you to heal this pain. Like, and even though I knew God, I had never really just cried out to Him in the way that I did at that time. Yeah. So if that person is out here and they're around friends who are encouraging whatever foolishness that they're going through, there's going to come a point where God is going to meet you where you are. And if this is the only time that they're ever going to hear that, you can keep doing what you're doing if you want to. But why do that and lose so much in the process? Because you will, to where you're on the bottom and then you have to seek God. But unfortunately, some people, that's what it's going to take. That's what it takes. Yeah, some people. It takes them losing all, or being on the bottom, and sometimes it's even at the detriment of your health before you then see God and then pray that He heals you. It's just it's so much. But eventually we all get there, and if we don't, then Judgment Day we'll sort it out.
Judgment Day is coming.
Yeah, for sure.
I know a lot of people that, I don't know if you guys know, but I wrote a book a long time ago. So I talked to a lot of people in doing interviews and gathering my statistics and my data and my experiences in order to put that all on paper, right? And I talked to a lot of people, and they were just lost when it came to relationships. The standards and the morals nowadays are almost non-existent. It's like they're looking for all the wrong things in a person. And when they get that person, they don't know how to function within that relationship.
Right.
So,
because it's all superficial based a lot of the time, what they're looking for.
Yeah.
A lot of people are looking for help. I'm tired of paying bills.
They just want a business partner.
I just want a man to come in and pay these bills, or, and to take care of this and this and this, and then you get that, and then you're miserable.
And sadly, some men are the same way. They're looking for a woman to take care of them.
Right.
So, it's the other way around, and that is just...
That's tough.
Yeah, it's really tough. How do you guys deal with haters? Anytime there's any positivity, anytime there's any positivity and happiness and good vibes and things are going great for someone, there's always that's when all the naysayers come out.
Right.
So
I welcome it. I allow people to feel what they feel.
Yeah,
You just won't be in our personal space.
That's your problem.
Yeah, like, you know, we've unfortunately had people that we thought were supporters of ours, and it's been a month now, been married, that we thought were supporters of ours who have shown themselves already.
Wow.
You know, and here's the whole thing I try to tell people: what's done in the dark will come to light. Even if you think your conversation that you're having with somebody will just stay between
it's
you,
private.
we serve God,
Right.
and God is going to expose those that are supposed to be in this next chapter with us.
Right.
And it's not that I go off. I'm not cussing you out. I'm just going to make it be known that I now know.
Exactly.
And you go ahead and be blessed. But you just won't be in this space.
Right.
And so,
Right.
you know, back in my younger days when I didn't have no sense and no real relationship, I would probably cuss you out, try to pull up and fight you,
you.
blast you on social media, whatever the case may be. But
Right.
now I just realize you're hurt.
Right.
You're hurt.
It's not you, it's them.
Better understand
Yeah,
It's them.
and you're gonna have to seek whatever pain that you have. You have to seek help for that.
Yeah.
But I got to make sure this stays strong, so I can't have you in the
Exactly.
midst.
You can't have the negativity mixing in with your positive vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of a battery. You can't be positive without a negative for it to work.
Right.
Yeah.
In order for it to work.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's got to happen.
Yeah.
You know, you got to
And-
go through
and-
the pain. You got to go through all of that.
Yeah. When you have haters is when you know you're doing something right.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
if you don't have
Right.
any haters at all,
Ain't nobody checking for you.
you're doing something wrong.
Right. So it's welcome. Like she said,
Right.
it's welcome.
It's welcome.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Yeah.
on.
It's not gonna make a difference, but bring it on.
And we know that
Yeah.
Satan's mad.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
know it's
Oh,
gonna
he's
come,
always
you
mad.
know, 100 times
Yeah.
more than
He's
what it was
upset.
when we were
He's
single.
upset.
So
yes, he's
because
upset.
he know out of this is going to birth purpose, and
Amen.
so he's going to
Amen.
bring whatever to try to stop it.
Right.
Which I told him, you know, even now because we're starting to see more opportunities come like this, and I said,
Yes.
when we have these opportunities, we have to make sure that we're operating in genuineness and
Right.
pureness, and that
Right.
we're up here and we're being honest with what it is.
Exactly.
So, like, I was like, listen, if we are on a podcast one day and me and you was fighting all day that day, we're going in being honest
Right.
with what it is, because this is the reality, because we want God to bless the truthfulness of us, of who we really are,
Right.
not who we pretend to be.
Exactly.
God don't bless no mess.
Yeah, you know, bless no mess.
That's
so,
right, yeah.
But we're prepared. We know what it
That's
looks
so
like when you get
wonderful.
married.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you guys. I can't say it enough times. And my husband can vouch. When I was looking at you guys' photos, I couldn't make it down there. I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
But when I was looking at the photos, I was just in a whole different world. I was tearing up. And so can Keita. She's been around me too, and I'm just tearing up. And she was like, I love love. I
Me
love
too.
love.
Me
And
too.
when I look at you guys, I just see God all over the relationship.
Absolutely.
And that makes me love it even more.
Amen.
Because
Right.
it's so rare these days.
It's so rare.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
But we're going to work to get it back, because I want Black love
there needs to
be stronger.
Whole coalition.
Yes, because we're losing our kids. Our kids are not
yeah.
having hope and
Exactly.
love and marriage. And
They need to see it.
Yeah, they don't have any idea, and we're losing them because they don't know how to love themselves.
True.
So
That's right.
We
That's
really
right.
gotta.
That's right.
And you know, there's sometimes I'm on social media and I see foolishness happen on social media. So I'll comment, I'll say something, and people come back and be like, "Well, this is how they make money." Da, da, da. I'm like, "But when do we stop with this is how they make money?" We're literally losing souls.
Yes.
Kids are either killing themselves ahead of time for
Right.
whatever bullying situation they done had. Women are sometimes killing men, or the men is killing a woman. Like, it's just so
Yeah.
much going on that we got to stop worrying about the dollar, because what God has joined together, the fruit gonna come. Like,
Exactly.
if we focus on the love and not the money,
Right,
then we're gonna be
right.
straight. Because
Right.
once he joins what he has declared to be together, he's gonna make sure that we're able to provide for
That's
whatever
right.
our lives need.
Right.
So if we can just get there.
Be authentic and go in with the right
Yeah.
set of mind, and God does the rest.
He does the
As
rest.
compared to the people that's doing it the other way. They
Right.
marrying for money.
Right.
And
right.
both people
And then
wind
you end up losing.
miserable.
Yeah.
And,
you end
separated
up losing
and
because
divorced.
you're about to have to give so
All
much
that.
to this person or so much to that.
All of that.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
I know.
It's really not hard if we allow God to navigate it.
Yeah,
It's not hard.
Yeah, let him lead. Don't try to tell him what you want to do.
Right.
Let him
Yeah.
do what he's supposed to do in your life.
Yeah.
Seek him, and he will.
He's gonna come on time. He's an on time guy.
That's
Yes.
right.
You
And
know.
a lot lot of times we don't think he is.
Right.
But he's like, hey, I got this.
Yeah.
So we have to let him lead.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So final words. What do you guys have to tell the audience about hanging in there and just don't give up? Don't give up.
Yes.
Don't give up. Like I said, we said it earlier, keep God first. You keep seeking God. Keep reading your Bible, being a light to others. It's history, you know.
And when we say seek God, a lot of people think they got to be like, oh, thus forth I'll die, come to you, Lord. And it's not that.
It's not that.
When
It's
I
not
tell
that
you,
formal.
I have like the most straightforward conversations with God.
Yes.
Even when I was going through, I was
I do
cursing.
too.
I was talking to God and I was mad and I was cursing. And I was like, if you're my father, how dare you allow, you know, God understands. He understands that he made us human, that we have feelings and emotions. And if you just go to him in your personality and all of the fullness and rawness that you are, he will meet you where you are.
That's right.
And we got to take this mystery out of God, that he's just sitting on the throne and so holy that we must come to him like this. And like, no, we don't. We don't. If you really view him as your heavenly father, just like you would go to your earthly father.
Yeah, your father on earth.
He'll
Just
provide.
talk to him.
Yeah, just talk to him. Yeah, and get out your own way. I say, get out your own way. Stop trying to save yourself.
Right.
You didn't make yourself, so stop trying to save yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree, you guys. Once again, Josh and Brandi Dennison.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so very much. The show is going to be premiering Friday on Friday on all our streaming platforms. If you guys can head over and subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can catch it there tomorrow, Friday at 3 p.m. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah.
Yay.